No house tours. Can't I just sit and relax? No, I'm not going to warm it up. I don't even want to eat this. Can anyone send McDonald's? Can anyone send 40 McNuggets with 10 hot mustards? 10 hot mustards. No, I can send them. I had McDonald's. I had McDonald's. Yes? Who said yes? TC. Send it, TC. Now. It's already 7 o'clock. It probably won't be till 7:30 or 7:40 till it gets here. And I guess I'll eat the Chef Boyardee until it's tied me over. I sent money to the Cash App. No, that's not the right Cash App. Northern, money sign Tank Lip 1111. Venmo, Jason D. Lipp at yahoo.com. Venmo, Jason D. Lipp at yahoo.com. Cash App, money sign Tank Lip 1111. I'll do if you ask neighbors for butter. No. Reese's shortage to Florida. How much is the nuggets? Aren't they like $10 for 20? Around $10 for 20, so $20 for 40. Birdie too, that looks yummy. Around $20. I too pray for my ravioli. Tank, I regret to inform you. I have been living in a group home and it fucking sucks. My PFP is me in front. Do you want nuggets or not? Yes. Angelo, go look at my story. What's your story, Goldmouth? Kiflam, don't go. What do you mean don't go? No one's gonna send nuggets. DoorDash. Did you send it, TC? What's your address? Well, you guys don't know my address by now? How does one send 40 nuggets? People know my address. It's been a nightmare, but everyone knows my phone number and my address. Tank, when are you moving? Top secret. Superfly, top secret. It's a picture of you with Reese's Pieces shortage in Orlando. I gotta open the Chef Boyardee on that note. What if there's a shortage of this stuff soon? Chef Boyardee beef ravioli in pasta sauce. I hate these fucking lids. Well, actually, it could be worse. You could have to use a can opener. So it's better than that. The fucking lids scare me on these things. They're so sharp. No nuggets? You don't have my phone number? I'll message it to you. I've said it on stream a bunch of times. No, I'm not filling out a job application. The government knows I can't work a typical job. But I do what I can, given my predicament. Yes, Devga. Cold raviolis. No nuggets? Eating contest? 40 nuggets? You sending it, Hector? Welcome back to your main screen name. Hector Brandon, everyone. Cash App? Hector? Never got nuggets last night. It was a very sad Saturday night. Last night, I'm sad to announce this, but I am counting the seconds, the minutes, the days, the hours. Last night was 2 weeks since Estelle passed. She passed on Valentine's. Yesterday was the 28th. Saturday to Saturday, 2 weeks later. 6:25 last night was 2 weeks since she's been gone. I don't know how I'm doing it. I never thought I could make a day. But I'm not really making it. There's no victories here. There's no making it. The one thing I do... Oh, wow. Someone named Renee just sent an MVP Venmo. Renee. Show up in the chat, Renee. MVP Venmo from Renee. Do I know you, Renee? What was I saying? What was I talking about? That there's no victories? BTB. What was I talking about? I think I was saying there's no victories here. It's just I don't give up, I don't quit. I'm pushing forward, but I've never been more lost in my life, felt more lost in my life. And honestly, anything I could say doesn't do it justice, like to how I'm feeling and what this is like for me. Every time I come home to this empty house, wow, thank you, MVP BTB. Thank you, Willie Stoker. It's probably all a blur. It is foggy. It's all very foggy. There's been some I don't know, it just seems like the wrong choice of words to even say blessings in disguise or saving grace, because overall, in the big picture, there's no saving grace in any of this. There's no blessings in disguise here. But even with that said, the saving grace and the blessing in disguise is that it is kind of foggy. So and I think it's kind of foggy because I should be just grieving. who I am, I would stop everything and take, like, if I worked a job, I would take off from work. I know that's probably doesn't come as a surprise to you guys. That if I had a job, I would take off. Probably like, yeah, really, Tank? You sure? We don't believe you. Yeah, well, I would take off for like a long time, like 6 months, and just grieve. But here I am with no job, and I haven't really had a moment to grieve. Every day I'm running, and what it does is it distracts me. It distracts me forcefully, meaning I don't have a choice in sitting and like opening a picture album and just looking at pictures of my mom. Like, I still haven't even had a chance to do that. Because any moment like now where I have a moment to catch my breath, there's no catching my breath. I'm so exhausted from running around today. Like, I really just want to go on the couch and put my legs up and close my eyes and crack my neck and like whatever I do to get rid of stress and just de-stress and relax. And like, I don't even have the energy to open, because like, I don't even have it in me right now to open a picture book or photo albums and things she left me and things I made over the years of me and her. And there's a lot of material, there's a lot of stuff, because I know I'll start crying so bad, and I know I don't even have that in me now. Like, the first time today I could maybe do something like that. Like, I just want it to be, everything to be mindless, because I've been using so much brain power running myself around town taking care of business today, just like I've been doing it every day. So long story short, yeah, it's very foggy. The whole 2 weeks since she's been gone, it's very foggy. And then keep in mind, that's the 2 weeks she's been gone. She was in the hospital basically at least 2 weeks. So if you say the 2 weeks she's been gone and the 2 weeks I was living out of the hospital, that's a whole month of like an ordeal, like traumatizing sadness, pain, things getting dropped on you that are very traumatic, like 1 second after another. And then before she went in the hospital, I was like waiting on her hand and foot, like I was a 24/7 nurse or caregiver to her. She was getting very sick. And like, I honestly, it was a way above my pay grade, like how much I was keeping an eye on her. Like, I mean, I didn't even really have time to sleep. I wasn't eating much then either, because every 2 seconds it was always just like she was moaning in pain and like, okay, come in. It got to a point where I took one of these chairs and sat it in her room. I'm like, what's the point of being over here? And I want to spend time with her anyway. I'm just going to put a chair in there and I'll just stay in there and sit with her. And then I know immediately when she needs something, instead of this shouting across the house for her straining herself. And so after a while, that's what I did. Yeah, I didn't even want to relive some of it. Some of it was so bad. Like, no, it wasn't like we were spending quality moments together. She was miserable and suffering and in so much pain. It was really a question of, when do I pull the plug and call the paramedics? And I was constantly getting stressed from like updating family in New York, like close family members, like play-by-play what's going on with her, and trying to see like, is now when I should be calling the paramedics? Sometimes they were thinking, yeah, this is above your pay grade, just call already. But then my mom was constantly expressing that she didn't want to. And she was talking about, I want to just die already. She was saying stuff like that, like, I just want to die. Like, that's when I was like, okay, she really seems to mean it. She seems to mean this right now. Like, I don't even think this is her being dramatic. She kind of means this. She's suffering so much. Like, what bad choices is my mom making now? And it got to a point for the first time where I was like, my mom might not be making choices for her benefit. She may be just trying to stay at home and die in her house. And I wasn't about to let that happen. Not on my watch. Like, I'm sorry, just as a loving son, I could not just neglect her just for her wishes for that. Like, that's just not so. But I was like, it was a balancing act. It was like a balancing act. They wanted to restrict me for my mom saying that stuff. It's not me saying it. And they use the S word. Like TikTok, I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about what my mom was saying. Well, okay, here goes censorship. Like, it was a balancing act. Trying to determine, like, okay, I get it. The weather was starting to get really cold. She was already, her sick old body. Like, I got it. She didn't want to go out in the cold. And they keep giving her the runaround and telling her there's nothing they can really do for her right now until she meets with this doctor. So, like, she kind of schmoozed me. She kind of schmoozed me at points. And it was like, okay, I kind of see the logic in not going. But then it was like, okay, forget about the cancer stuff. Like, your body's sick right now. Clearly you're symptomatic and you can't just sit here this sick and not be under the care of a constant doctor and nurse. So, I don't know. I mean, in reality, it didn't go on that long. It was like 9 or 10 days of, I'm like, wow, she's not even leaving the bedroom. She's not even really even going to the bathroom. Showers were out the door. There were no showers. She was turning down even the shakes. The whatever, Boost or Ensure. She was getting no nourishment. And I'm like, we're not accomplishing anything here. And like, it was getting also very close to the point of like some crucial doctor's appointments where maybe she could finally get some treatment and going to the hospital wouldn't have been a runaround. And it was like, literally, the day she ended up getting admitted into the hospital, first of all, that day she ended up in the ER for 15 hours. But a lot happened that day. I pulled the plug myself. I said, fuck this. I called some family members. I'm like, I've got to call. I called the paramedics at 7 a.m. in the morning. Even with me calling the paramedics, my mom did exactly what I was afraid of. She declined going to the ER. They wanted to take her. Every single one of like 7 or 8 paramedics said, you should go. You're not well. She declined it and schmoozed them the way she was schmoozing me. And she said, I have a doctor's appointment at 1 o'clock today. My son and his friend, that was Marcus, were going to take her to the hospital, and she was going to meet with one of the cancer specialists. And like, that was supposed to be a good appointment. And I'm like, that's fine. Mom, if you're going to schmooze the paramedics and not take them, like out of love, I called the paramedics for you because you really need to be in the hospital. I can't take good enough care of you. And I'm watching my mother die. Like, you're so sick right now and you're not doing anything to help yourself. You're not eating. You're not leaving the bedroom. Like, what's going on here? And thank God, Mark, because I never could have driven her in that state. Who knows if I could have even safely gotten her to the car. She had no energy in her legs. She could barely stand. Thank God Marcus was coming at 11 that morning, just 4 hours from the 7 a.m. paramedics. And he was going to take us, and he did. He came, and thank God, because I couldn't have driven her in her condition, knowing she's sick in the car, and do I need to stop the car and check on her? Could I have even gotten her to the car safely? When they can't stand, even though she's a small woman, that's dead weight. She was dead weight. She couldn't hold her body up, so 100 pounds becomes 200 pounds. It's not safe. That's why they have wheelchairs and stretchers for things like this. So she declines the paramedics, and then me and Marcus take her, and I'm like, well, thank God we're going, because the doctor's going to take one look at her and want to admit her and get her to the ER. And sure enough, he took one look at her and rushed her to the ER, and she was there for 15 hours, and what did she have? See, I knew she was sick when I called the paramedics. She had sepsis. Blood poisoning, which is the end of people's lives. Sepsis. That can be the end if it's not treated. Okay? And it happens a lot of the time with people that have advanced stages of cancer. So they were treating her for sepsis and clots in her body and her lungs. And then she had a bleed in her head. They were treating her for a million things, in the ER, and then she got admitted. She was a little more stable, and then it was 2 weeks. I was living out of the hospital. I never left her side in the hospital. This whole ordeal has been going on for since January 15th. It's March 1st today. I've basically been in a crisis. One shape or form or way or another. Since January 15th, my mom was getting really sick. I was a full-time nurse and caregiver till she got to the hospital. Okay, which I think was January 30th, so maybe it was more than 9 or 10 days. Because I think around the 15th, it was starting to get really bad, January 15th. Then I'm living out of the hospital for 2 weeks. Then she's in hospice for 4 or 5 days. And then she passed on the 14th, Valentine's. And now it's been grieving without properly grieving. And then the stress load has been, how do I survive a financial crisis amidst the emotional grief of losing a woman that was your world. She was my world. So, I don't know how I'm doing it, y'all. I don't know how I'm doing it. I gotta get this all off my chest. I don't know how I'm doing it. I don't know how I'm doing it, y'all. Yeah, she passed the 625. And that's her birthday backwards, 5/26, May 26th. I'm telling you, there are signs, y'all. Signs of God or something. My mom was not an ordinary woman. She was rare. Something big was my mom's life. My mom was very important. She might not have been your typical famous person.